Hi guys, my name is Mesma Delight and welcome to my channel. On this channel I post sewing tutorials. Today's tutorial is all about how to cut and sew a classy mini dress with bell sleeves and a statement circle. So let's just get right into the video. The first thing we're going to do is to draft on our pattern paper. So I went ahead to just create some lines. The first line you see is my shoulder line. I'm going to label SH for shoulder. The next thing I have is my chest line. Now if you're wondering, I do get my chest line by adding 1 inch to the division of my shoulder measurement. That's how I achieve my chest line. The next is my bust line, the under bust line, and my half length. So we're only going to be drafting the half part of our gown on the pattern paper. So the next one I want to do now is to work on our neckline. So I'm going to go with the standard neck measurement, which is 3 by 3. Next, we're going to use our pattern master to create a curve. Once you're done creating your neckline, you're going to just add your shoulder slope. Don't forget our shoulder slope is 1 inch from our armhole line. Next, we want to do now is our dart. You're going to mark your nipple to nipple measurement on your half length to your bust line. So I'm working with 7 divided by 2. I have 3.5. You divide your nipple to nipple measurement by 2, not by 4. So I have nipple to nipple measurement on my half length and my bust line. I'm going to connect it using a straight line. That's done. Next, I want to divide my shoulder slope into 2. Once I get to whatever my midpoint is, I will create a point there. Now I'll connect it to the bust line. Okay, that's done. Next, we're going to go over to our half length line and I'm going to mark our darts. So I'm using 0.75 on both sides of the dart leg. And I'll connect this to my bust line. So connect yours like you see me connecting mine. Okay, now that's done. The next thing we want to do now is just to put our body measurement. You divide your bust by 4, divide your under bust by 4, and divide your waist by 4. Now that I'm done with that, I'm going to replace all the dots. I'm placing that dot there. Now I'm doing replacing that allowance. And we're going to replace that there too. After replacing our dots, we're now going to add extra 2 inch allowance to all our measurements. Extra 2 inch allowance to our bust, extra 2 inch allowance to our half length, and extra 2 inch allowance to our under bust. Alright, so that's just it. Next, we're going to do, we want to take in our side darts. So I went down by 1 inch. You can use 1 inch, you can use 1.5. It just depends on the size of the bust you're working with. You connect this all the way to that point at our bust line. So the part you see me marking is the part that we won't be using. Like it's not going to be part of our dress. We're going to kind of cut it out. So this is all for our front. I'm just going to cut round this. The next thing we're going to cut, I'm going to draft, sorry, is our back part. So I went ahead to prep it again. I made the basic block and also added extra 2 inch for my zipper part. So I'm labeling shoulder, chest, and the half length. There is no bust line in our back because our back doesn't have a breast. So we have shoulder, chest, and half length. So remember we took out our side dart. We remove 1 inch from our side dart. So our half length of our back is no longer going to be 17, it's going to be 16. That's why minusing that side that we took from the front. Okay, so I'm just labeling zip, 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 so we'll know where our zip is. So now I'm taking in my dart. Remember, we're using 3.5 all the way to my chest line. For the front, I did from my half length to my bust line. For the back, I'm doing from my half length to my chest line. So I'm going to create join this. So we're using a straight line. The next I'm going to do now is to work on my neckline. I'm going to use 3 by 1.5. After doing that, I will use my pattern master to create a curve. Don't forget to extend this your neckline into your zipper allowance. The next thing I want to do now is our shoulders loop. Okay, that's done. We're going to now head over to our darts. So the front, we took 0.75 at both sides, and this one too will also take 0.75 at both sides. Connect this to our chest line. And now we're just going to add our body measurement. Your balls divided by 4 and your waist divided by 4. After you mark that, you're going to replace your dart and also add your extra 2-inch allowance. Next is going to use a pattern master to create your line. Okay, that's done. Next we're going to do again is to just cut round it. Just don't cut your dart, so just cut round the block. Leave your dart alone. Okay, so here I am back to my front. I just cut my front. Cut your front the way you see me cut my front. So now I didn't want to do the normal, I didn't want my dart, sorry, to appear on the dress itself. So we're going to do like a dart manipulation. So see what I'm going to do. If you notice that at this side, I didn't cut use exactly on my body my body measurement. I gave a little bit of gap. So when I take in this side dart, when I close up this side dart, there wouldn't be any um um place that was shot out. So I want to close up my side dart. So I cut out one part of the side dart and I went downwards and cut one side of our the dart that's at the down part. So this is how you close up your side dart. Next I want to do here, I'm going to use my solo tape to tape my side dart down. So just do what you see me doing. Don't forget, don't cut your side dart all the way to the end. Leave a little bit of space. At this point, I've sealed off my side dart. So now I told you we're going to manipulate our data B because I don't want this dart to show on my dress. There's no way you will close this dart. This that's at our bust line to our hip line just like that without it having issue. So we're going to push this dart over to our armpit side. So from that end, I made a line to the end of my curve. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but see where I made the for that line to make yours like mine. So it's going to be line is going to be something like triangular. This is a triangle. Yes, it's going to be triangular, something like this. So this is how yours should be. At this point, I realized that I haven't cut out my body allowance to the actual measurement. So just cut how you see me cutting it. Okay, that's done. Now this dart that's at my half length to my bust line, I decided to take away this other dart leg. Like I want to open up the dart fully. Okay, now that's done. We're going to get a replacement for that we opened up now. So get a piece of your pattern paper and close it up the way you see me closing up mine. It should be something like this. You close it up this way. After closing it up like this, you make sure it's hold down flat, like it's flat, it's not squeezed or rumpled anything. Then use your solo tape to tape this on this newly pattern paper you inserted into the that part of it. After that, you trim out the excesses. Okay. So now I'm just going to extend that line back to the point of my dart legs. Okay, so this is just it. So let me trim out these excesses too. Okay, now that's done. I'll turn this over to the front again. Now remember how we closed up our side dart. The same way we're going to close up this dart, the same way we closed up our side dart. Use your scissors to cut out one part. Don't forget you don't cut it all the way to the end. Leave like a little bit of a gap so you can use it to like close up the dart. So I forgot to seal this part up with my tape. That's what I'm just doing now. Okay, now that's done. And I'll cut your cotton. If you will notice, I didn't cut all the way to the end. I left a little gap. Now I'm closing this up this way. After doing that, I'll use my sellotape again to close up, like to hold this I'll to hold up what I did now. Okay, after doing that, we're going to now replace our full length. If you notice, our full length is no longer the same. It needs to be replaced. I'm going to get another piece of paper, place it this way, use my sellotape to hold it up. Then I will then trim it according to like exactly how it were supposed to be. I mean, it was supposed to be. Okay, so that's just it. So the next one I want to do now is to check our body measurements if they say the same. So now I'm going to divide my bust again by 4. Then you check if you still have your extra 2-inch allowance, that extra allowance you added to it, and your extra 2-inch allowance. That's good. Next is my underbust. Divide the underbust by 4. You make a mark at that point. Then your extra 2-inch allowance. So you see there's excesses on my underbust. The next is my half length. Divide it by 4 and your extra 2-inch allowance. Again, there's excesses on my underbust and on my half length. So I'm going to use my pattern master to connect this from my bust line to my underbust and from my underbust to my half length. Next, I'm going to use my scissors to cut it out. After doing this, you have successfully created the pattern for your front and also successfully manipulated the dart for the front part of this. Now moving over to our back piece, this is going to be very easy. We're just going to open up the dart and put a replacement for it and take and move the dart over to the side. I'm going to open up this dart now. It's just repeating the same thing we did for the front minus the side dart part. Get a piece of a pattern paper that will pass through this point. Use our sellotape to hold it. Let me just do the sellotape part of camera. The next thing is to trim out the allowance. That's how with the excesses. Okay, so now that's done. I'm now going to move the dart to my armhole side. So using my ruler, I'm going to put it at the point, that point where my curve stops. Go over to the other end of the dart and connect the line to that point. The next we're going to do is to use our scissors to put one part of this new dart leg. Don't forget, don't cut it all the way through. You leave a little gap. Okay, then you close it up and again use your sellotape to hold this together. After doing that, we're going to now um replace that's the part that is not that is missing to our full level. We're going to replace it. So look where I'm putting this pattern paper. You put it through the same way you see me putting this. Then we'll use our sellotape again to hold this up. Then we're going to trim it exactly the way it should be. That's so that our measurements can be completed and like exactly how it were before we started doing this that manipulation thing. After doing this now, I'm now going to just flip it over to the side so it can be easier for me to just use my scissors to trim it. And so with this, we have successfully manipulated the dart for our back. Here we're going to check if, like we're going to check our body measurement. So the same we did it for the front, so we're going to do the same thing for the back. You divide your bust by 4 plus the extra 2-inch allowance. That's correct. We'll go over to the half length side. You divide your waist by 4 and your extra 2-inch allowance. But we're not adding, we're only adding the extra 2-inch allowance we'll add. Next, I'm going to use my scissors to just correct this. And there you have it, our back. Okay, so this video is going to have two parts because this one is getting already so long. So we're going to stop here. The next part of the video should be the whole sewing process. That's how we finished up the whole dress. So I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next part of this tutorial.